Welcome everyone, it's Michael at Benzinga. Today I'm here with Tom Coughlin. He's the CEO of Kinesis Money. Tom, great to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, Michael, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Tom, we are very excited to learn some more about Kinesis. Thrilled over here at Benzinga to be working with you, one of our prize partners of the year. And we cannot wait to dig more into the story of Kinesis, learn some more about what you do, learn some more about you yourself, and then tell the story to the Benzinga audience. So let's dive right into it and get started. Can you give us kind of a personal background to you at Kinesis, what your background is there, and how you kind of came to be associated with the company?
Yeah, sure. So I come from a financial background originally, having worked and set up businesses in the financial advisory and also fund management space. So back in those days, the financial crisis was hitting. That's where I became to recognize precious metals as a investment portfolio asset. And the opportunity was really identified to create an investment facility initially that was appropriate at the institutional level and something that was efficient and cost effective ultimately and liquid. And that started a rather interesting global journey where we went around the world, gathered all the market intelligence. That really led us to where we are now with Kinesis. And what we've tried to do with Kinesis is basically marry up the latest in payment technology up against the oldest and the greatest store of value to bring about, one, what money should be, which is one, like an effective store of value, and two, an efficient medium of exchange. Now, but there's one principle, and that's the principle of Gresham's law, whereby bad money drives out good. So when you've got two competing currencies and one is valued over the other, then basically people wish to use the less valued one as the payment currency because they want to hoard, they want to hold on to the more valued currency. So we introduced this incentivizing yield system, which incentivizes spending, like utilization of the money into the system. So yeah, that's really how Kinesis was born, and that's become really, our benchmark company within the group, and we're operating a diversified precious metals group. But yeah, that takes us up to now, effectively.
Amazing. Well, that's a great background. An incredible story for Kinesis. And I think that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the questions we'll be discussing about Kinesis specifically. But good background to set the base. I'd like to touch on the gold and silver-based digital currency. How did Kinesis create that? What assurances are in place for that gold and silver-based digital currency? How does that process work?
So the safe keeper and the facilitator of the physical metal, which operates all the physical mechanics, including the quality assurance of it through what we call our quality assurance framework. That's operated through ABX, which is an 11-year-old company now. And it's been built out with all the best-in-class physical mechanics, including audit and verification of the metal, so even testing. And before the currency can even be created within Kinesis, so KAU and KAG, the metal must be sitting in a vault. So once the metal's sitting in the vault, then it's available for effectively turning into KAU and KAG, and that's done through our primary marketplace, which we call the Kinesis Mint. So as you buy in our mint, then our money supply increases. And then as you buy it, it's emitted down into our blockchain-powered wallet system that faces up against our digital asset exchange. And it's available for transacting, whether it be trading against other currencies, whether cryptocurrency or fiat currency. Basically, you can use it as money then. And we continue to develop the system and bolt on new functionality, new services. And what we're building out at the end of the day is really like an ecosystem that operates like an economy where we'll be interfacing, and we're interfacing into all different kinds of merchants and services.
Okay, wonderful. I want to touch on the yield as well, because that's a really interesting facet of this. Kinesis defeats Gresham's law by incentivizing spending through the revolutionary yield system. And that's kind of what I'd like to cover a little bit more in detail with you. How do you offer a yield on physical precious metals? What's the system there and how does that work?
Yeah, so this is quite a feature of Kinesis, and this is actually where our name comes from. And that is, we typically, when you delve into investment assets, there's debt somewhere. Whereas with gold and precious metals, through us at least, there is no debt. You're holding it outright. There's no debt attached to it. So where the yield actually comes from, it comes from our system. It comes from the blockchain. So where a bank might charge, say, transaction fees, they take that as top line revenue for themselves as an entity and put it onto their balance sheet. Basically, take from their client's pocket and put it in their pocket. Whereas what we do is through our blockchain system, we have what's called a master fee pool. Every single transaction within the system and the fees attached to it, it gets sent off to the master fee pool. And at the end of each month, it's then distributed to the different users within the system. Of course, Kinesis takes a share of it. We've got to keep the lights on. We've got to keep growing. We've got to keep on building our teams and building our technology. But also the other participants in the system also take a share of it. And that's according to their participation. So if you're a holder of gold or silver in the system, then you'll receive a yield attached to your holding. So holders receive 15% of the aggregate fees in the system, and then it's proportionally distributed up according to your metal holding. There's lots of information on our website that delves into how the yields work, and I encourage your listeners to visit our website, kinesis.money, and step through how the yields actually work.
Perfect. Tom, I'd like to talk about redeeming the physical gold and silver. So what happens is you're in storage, you want to redeem it, you have this physical gold and silver that you retain as an asset. How do you redeem that, and is it possible to even redeem that in the first place?
So yes, it's definitely possible to redeem it, and we have plenty of users actually redeeming the metal in the system. And for Kinesis, we've got some minimum thresholds there. So it's 200 ounces for silver, and it's 100 gram for gold. But anyone who would like to take physical delivery, we certainly encourage you to do so.
Wonderful. Tom, we're coming close to the end of the interview here. I've certainly personally enjoyed learning more about Kinesis, and I hope this is the first of many to come, digging more into the details of Kinesis and more about this amazing technology and your business model. But I'd like to take a step back really quickly, and from a 30,000-foot view, can you tell us what the plans are in the future for Kinesis? What is the company moving into next? What are some of the initiatives you're working on? And what can we expect to see in Kinesis' future, long-term and short-term immediately?
Yeah, there's some very interesting projects we're involved in. So actually today, there's a big press conference being held in Jakarta, Indonesia. And effectively, that's the announcement of our Indonesian project, which is we've spent the last 5 years building out a parallel monetary system in Indonesia with the post office that has 58,500 branches to basically allow the post office to become a banking system there, where we've got many banking partners around the world which will be issuing our debit card. We've got a US-based debit card and a global virtual debit card live, so people can use our system to actually, spend and save, obviously, gold and silver. And of course, we're going through a number of different integrations with trading platforms, with financial advisories, with merchants, and so on. So we're just sort of bolting it all together as far as building out this monetary system and, looking to collectively succeed and reward all of our participants within the system as well, and giving back for the patients provided throughout our developmental phase, I would say. So yeah, that's really what we've got in store for the rest of the year, and plenty of other exciting things coming online, and beyond.
Well, it sounds like an exciting rest of the year, to say the least, and obviously a very, very bright future and plenty to come on the horizon for Kinesis. Thomas Coughlin, CEO of Kinesis Money, thank you so much for this interview. Definitely looking forward to talking with you again soon, and can't wait to share the story with the Benzinga audience. We look forward to hearing more. Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it.
Take care all.